tell us a little bit about you and what you do at GPS.
Well, thanks for calling me an expert, Annie. I appreciate that. I need a little get me up in the morning here. Well, one of the things for my role with Swiss Lane Dairy is keeping their cows healthy, keeping them comfortable, and good management practices, that type of thing. But it all stems around nutrition and feeding first, and keep them healthy. So my background goes way back into grad school. I went to Oklahoma, I went to Iowa State, went to Madison, Wisconsin, and finished up a PhD in 1990. So I've been at this for going on 30 years, and a lot of technology has given us opportunity to change things. And what I've learned definitely is change is in the cards. Every year, every couple of years, something new comes along, and we're able to do our jobs more effectively and help the farm and the cows perform and stay healthy. So really enjoyed the change over the years, Annie.
Yeah, so I just want to talk a little bit about that, because I think that's why we like you so much, is you just are constantly pushing us. And that's one thing that we always think about, like continuous improvement, right? So tell us how to change. How can we get better? Our goal is to be here for another 95 years. So we can't, we're always thinking about, okay, how can we just tweak this and just fine tune it so we can take better care of the cows? And like you said, it all starts with nutrition. It's like, and you guys just saw it with Melinda in the feed truck. Like, it's such a big part of the farm. And that's why I just think it's so important to kind of highlight our relationship with you. How long have you been working with us, and what are some of the changes that you have seen around Swiss Lane, or maybe just in general, the dairy industry, kind of know where you went with that.
Yeah, so I've been working with Swiss Lane and the team there, the families, for 3 years. I've enjoyed it so much. It went fast. A lot of farms I worked with for many years. And so I'm looking for the opportunity to work with Swiss Lane for many years as well. In order to do that, my job is to not allow them to stay in a comfort zone, help them see what we're doing in terms of improving. And some of those improvements could just be around putting up good forage for the cows. And forage means alfalfa hay that we turn into haylage by fermenting it. Could be corn and corn stalks that we chop. We call it corn silage, that we put it up and harvest it at the proper window, so then we can ferment it correctly. And then as we feed it throughout the year, cows enjoy that and stay healthy and perform for us. So it's all about that forage harvesting, quality of feed. And if we do that for the cow, she's going to reward us in the future. And so that's my job.
Yeah, kind of the theme around here is take care of the cows and they'll take care of you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I see it too.
Yeah, one of our core values is actually focused on the cows. And so everything we do and everything we think about is just trying to take care of them, because we know that will just be in the long run benefit all of us. So and even the people just watching, you're going to get better quality milk. And so it just makes sense, right? We were just, it's funny that you brought up the forage, because I don't think you saw Melinda's video that she just did with Ryan.
No, I didn't. That'd have been awesome.
We're harvesting hay.
Awesome.
It's I think it's actually the rye, or maybe well, you probably know, you kind of like made us stop harvesting because you're like, that's too wet, that's not good enough for the cows, you have to wait for it to dry. So we kind of had to change our whole schedule around last week. We had our week planned, we're going to chop on Tuesday and Thursday, and you were like, no. And so we had to change all of our plans. And
no, I didn't wag the finger and say no, did I?
Yeah. So we're like, okay, whatever you say, we got to do what's best for the cows. So tell us a little bit about some of the questions we always get is it natural for the cows to only eat grass, or can cows eat other things too? And just kind of walk us through that. I mean, I think you with a PhD, science isn't my thing. So just try to make it so it makes sense to me and maybe some of the people who are watching.
Yeah, so one of the things we know as a cow, she has 4 stomachs. We always heard that as a child and growing up. Hey, the cow has 4 stomachs. Well, what does that mean? And the big thing is the the big stomach we call the rumen. You know, it's an awesome opportunity for us to be able to feed forages. She can digest forages. Forages would mean like grass, alfalfa, corn silage, something that as humans we can't eat. And they have the opportunity to be able to chew it and allow the bacteria in that rumen that ferment it, help create these energy and protein sources for the cow to actually live and maintain and be productive. And so not only do we have to keep the cow healthy, we got to keep that rumen fermentation system going. And that's the hard part about feeding the cow. We think we know it all and we just don't. We have modeling programs to help us figure it out. A lot of great research in this area, but we still are learning a lot and trying to figure out how to feed both that rumen, which has a lot of millions and billions of bacteria that are good bacteria that help that cow stay healthy as well. And so that's a part of it all. And so the idea of just feeding pure grass or pure alfalfa, which is it's not a grass, but it's a form of forage. It's usually if you drive by a field, it's bright green. It has a lot of leaves. It's just awesome nutrients for the cow. And that's what Swiss Lane is harvesting today, I'm pretty sure. Annie, we're pretty tight on our alfalfa this year. And so I'm looking forward to that being harvested and being ready to feed the cows here in the next week or so. So that's part of it.
Yeah, we were a little bit tight on feed, like you say. We thought it was going to be a lot hotter the last few weeks, and then that rain just kind of set us back a little bit too. So we're very anxious to get some feedback on that pile and get some really good food ready for the cows to eat all summer and winter long, right?
Right.
It's going to be a busy summer for us. Okay, so what is the most important ingredient that we feed to our cows? Like if you had to say anything that goes into the cow's body, like what is the most important thing?
I think that's hard for me to answer, Annie, because there's probably not just one. Way to go. There probably isn't one. I mean, you definitely need a base, and base is a forage, which is alfalfa or corn silage, fiber. You need fiber to help the cow stay healthy. So that's one, but you still got to balance it just like in a human diet. I laugh at myself how I don't balance my diet that well, and I'm trying to do a better job. But they need certain amount of protein or amino acids. We do balance for now on a cow. We do balance for minerals and fat and types of fat. And just like you would in a human, we talk about omega fats, and we talk about a lot of things, how that then goes into milk and fat production in the milk, as well as protein production and what we need to do. So it's got more complicated, but it's still awesome. I enjoy the job that challenges me to try to figure it out and help her out and, help you as a business out. So it's a lot of fun actually to try to figure that out, because it's not about just throwing a slab of hay in front of her and expecting her to be productive and be healthy as she goes through the different transitions of becoming a cow, growing up as a calf and a heifer and becoming a cow. That's all different nutritional aspects of balancing her diet.
As you were talking and you said, just like we do for human nutrition. And I thought, how much thought do I really put into what I eat every day versus the team of people that we have? I mean, think about even just your staff, Marty, all the experience that we have access to that is focusing on our cows like every day. Can you just talk about like the data and kind of how you determine, or like what are some of the things that you look at when you're deciding or when you're encouraging us to do certain harvests or certain practices with the cows here? Like what are
that's another amazing thing, just right. You can't manage anything if you don't have data. And so over the years, data has become coming at us with things like now we can calculate and figure out how much she eats actually. And now I can formulate the diet, understanding how much she exactly eats. And we talk about dry matter pounds. So that can be tough for people, but forages are pretty wet. It's not like a human diet. I suppose it'd be like carrots. They're only, 10, 15% dry matter type of thing, a lot of moisture in it. And so we have to figure that out for the cow. We have to do dry matters on feeds and understand how she eats and what she eats. So that data is important to be given to me and figure out from there what to do next with it. We have data like milk production on a daily basis for every animal, for every milking. We have what's in her milk in terms of components like dairy, cream or fat, protein. And so that helps guide us making a decision. And so there's these metrics, you know, at their robot herd. I've been having to learn, I never thought I would have to do it, Annie, you know, learn how to balance diets for cows that go through a robotic system in terms of having, you know, a free flow concept of, hey, they get to go up and milk. They, you know, how do you help them make that decision, but keep them healthy? And they have a great, you know, life in that facility as well. And so I've had to learn what to change and do at that farm as well.
Okay, cool. So another thing I wanted to just ask you, what does World Milk Day mean to you, and kind of what sparked your passion for dairy? And yeah, just kind of talk about that.
Yeah, I suppose dairy's been in my blood since I've been a kid. I raised on a dairy farm, and you know, like my dad always wanted me to become a veterinarian. You know, the dad, you know, it's like, well, Dad, I'm not going to do that, but I'll do this. You know, this is what really I enjoy doing, being a part of that nutrition, and having a class in school that said, hey, this is pretty cool to do. So in terms of World Milk Dairy.
World Milk Day. Yeah.
Yeah, World Milk Day. I'm sorry. That has more to do with, I enjoy dairy. I enjoy cows. I think they're just awesome. I think dairy itself, I eat a lot of Greek yogurt. I eat a lot of cheese. I love different types of cheeses. And so, you know, that just becomes pretty easy for me to support it. My sons like ice cream a lot. I'm trying to manage my calorie intake as I get older, but that's where kind of going to the protein type drinks that come from milk, going to the Greek yogurts that are higher in protein and nutrition. So I'm here to support the day because of how much I enjoy dairy, you know, being a part of that, and the food that is produced by the cow. She's an amazing animal, amazing creature.
Amen to that. I just always talk about like just how they are created, you know, that you talk about this creature, they're created just to eat these things that we can't eat and turn them into something that we can. It's just like this little miracle happening inside of them every day. And I just think we call it the miracle of milk. And I just like to talk to people about that. Something so simple, and you just don't think like that basic, like that's what this animal does. Wow. You know, so not only are they just cool looking, but they can do pretty cool things like ice cream. Hello. I mean, and you said cheese. So my last question for you is, why do you think GPS supports dairy discovery? And yeah, why it's important what we're doing today with this telethon and with this 24-hour streaming live?
Well, I appreciate it, Annie, all the things that, you know, Swiss Lane Dairy does, Dairy Discovery does in terms of that educational platform, trying to educate and make it fun too, to understand as we get more removed from agriculture, the younger generation getting to see it and enjoy it and being out there and getting their feet dirty and hands dirty, that type of thing, you know, the things you do. And you can see you know, see the kids enjoy it, as well as tours that you put on and events like this. I mean, how can you not want to support it, Annie? So appreciate you asking, actually. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much. Your support means a lot. And we're just really excited to celebrate this day with so many amazing people in our industry. And I know you're busy today, so I don't want to take up too much more of your time. But yeah, you guys, we have more things coming at you in the next few segments, in the next, how many hours are we in now? We are on hour 10, I think, or
Awesome.
9. Have 15 hours left. Yeah, they keep saying, who's counting anymore at this point? So yeah, I was telling the viewers earlier, the last time that I was up for 40 hours straight when I was in labor with my firstborn 20 years ago. So totally dating myself, but that just says like this day is a big deal for us because we just want to, we can't connect with our community through hands-on experiences, but we're going to come at you, on the online platform and try to just share and be open and honest about what happens on a farm. And I just think having you here and seeing right back to back with what we were talking about with Ryan, it just kind of goes hand in hand. So,
well, thanks for letting me be a part of it. Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to sign off and
Everyone.
get ready for the next segment, you guys. See ya.
Yep, bye.